And we are live here at Veterans Park on field number 2 for a Division I elimination game between the Shelton State Bucks and the Coastal Alabama South Coyotes. Dallas Renzi with you this afternoon. Our second game here on field number 2. Second full game, I should say, since we had to finish up the Wallace State versus Northwest Shoals game. But it'll be the Coyotes and the Bucks trying to keep their seasons alive. Starting pitcher for Shelton State, they will be the home team in this one. It'll be number 4, Letzi Darnell. As the freshman pitcher will come in, this will be her 26th appearance on the circle this season, her 17th start of the year. She has 6 wins, 5 losses, 1 save, and also has 11 complete games this season. And has over 110 innings of work, 129 hits allowed, 61 earned runs, 20 strikeouts to 29 walks as Jersey Carter fouls this one out of play. She's allowed 10 home runs this year and comes in with a 3.88 ERA. She came in the final couple innings of the loss against Northwest Shoals. She'll get the nod in this one as Shelton State will be in their green jerseys with white pants as Jersey Carter will tap one right to the pitcher, and Carter is safe as she has been doing that all season long. Been able to put the ball in play and immediately take off for first. She's got herself an infield single, and the Coyotes have their first base runner and first base hit of this one. As we take a look at Shelton State out on the field, they'll have Trinity Wilkinson behind the plate. Lauren Coker will be at first. Caroline Hedlinski will be at second. Natalie Liner will be at short. Aspen Gerard will be at third base. In the outfield for Shelton State, laying down a bunt, and that'll be in for a strike. Heather Maxwell in left. Elena Spann will be in center. And in right field will be number 12, Emma Harrison. As that'll be the starting fielders for Shelton State in a do-or-die game against their conference rivals, Coastal South. Bunt again here by Parker. Lays it down. The throw to first is on target. And Carter will retreat back to second. A good sacrifice bunt there from Kaylin Parker. There'll be one out here in the top of the first inning. As we take a look at the Coyotes starting batting order, they'll have Jersey Carter, Kaylin Parker, Kinsley Wesley. To lead things off, Kaylin Fincher will be batting cleanup, followed by Sydney Sherman, Taylor Hunt, Olivia Tubbs as the designated player, Ella Morgan Sears, and then finally Grace Langston, the center fielder. Runner on second here with one out. That'll be a first pitch delivered there to Kinsley Wesley. Led the team in hits last year for Coastal South when they were known as the Sun Chiefs. This year off to a slow start offensively and then started to pick up near the end of conference play. Needing her to come through here. So that'll be in for a strike. 0-2 count here to Wesley as it'll be the battle of the aces between the two starting pitchers. Letzi Darnell and then Shelly Littlefield on the other side for Coastal South. Coyotes coming off their 4-1 loss to Snead State as that pitch will be downstairs to Wesley. As the Coyotes come in with an overall record of 32-18 on the year, 14-9 in the conference, coming in as the number 2 seed just behind Wallace Hansville. As Wesley sends one to right field, dropping for a base hit. Carter will be sent home, and the throw is on target, and Carter will retreat back to third. But Kinsley Wesley with a one-out single. Runners on the corners here for the Oats. A well-hit ball to right field, and the Coyotes with 2 base hits on their first 3 batters they brought up to the plate, and now they'll bring up Kaylin Fincher, who started the season out very strong with 5 home runs during the first couple of months. Matching her total from last year as Fincher will fly one into right field. And this one is going to drop foul over to the right side. Coyotes offense as good as they were last year when they were runner-up in the ACCC tournament after losing to Wallace Hansville. 50 games played, 316 runs scored, a 324 batting average as a team, 4-on-4 on base percentage, as that one will miss outside. 476 slugging percentage. And the Coyotes have hit 36 home runs as a team. Fincher has hit 7 home runs this season as she is tied for the team lead with Kaylin Parker with 7 home runs on the year. Ella Morgan Sears right behind them with 6. as she will deal in, as this one's going to be sent into deep left center field, and Kaylin Fincher with a 3-run bomb to left center field, and the Coyotes jump ahead 3-0 here in the top of the first. That ball was smoked into left center field, and Fincher with her 8th home run in her sophomore season, first of the postseason, and it is 3-0. Exactly the start head coach Mallory Radwich was hoping to have from this powerful offense and a very deep lineup with Coastal South. And now that'll bring up Sydney Sherman with the bases empty, just 1 out, and that was off the sacrifice bunt from Kaylin Parker. Coyotes scored a total of just 1 run yesterday in their loss against Snead State before the long weather delay ended day number 1 of the tournament. They come out firing here in the top of the first with a 3-0 lead. Kaylin Fincher with a 3-run bomb to left center field. That one will miss upstairs, and it's 2-0 here to Sydney Sherman in her second year with the Coyotes. A 5-home-run season for Sydney Sherman after having 10 home runs last year for Coastal South. And she's well ahead in the count 3-0 here against Letzi Darnell, who's already out 3 runs off of 3 hits so far. And that's the 37th home run of the season for the Coyotes as a team. And now finally connect for strike number 1. Lost Hansville won earlier today, 11-2. They will be in the winner's bracket later this afternoon. As Sydney Sherman will fly one to right field. And there to make the catch is a right fielder, Emma Harrison, with the catch for out number 2. So we take a look at Shelton State out in the field, or we already mentioned that earlier, but Emma Harrison making that catch in right field. Shelton State under head coach Caitlin Griffin, 19-27 overall, 12-12 in the conference. As this one's going to be lifted into right center field, and backing up and making the catch is Caroline Helinski for out number 3. But Kaylin Fincher starts the scoring for the Coyotes to keep their season alive. We head to the bottom of the first. Shelton State up next to bat. Bottom of the first inning. Coyotes starting the scoring with a 3-0 lead after the 3-run bomb from Kaylin Fincher to left center field. They'll rely on the pitcher that got them to the championship game last year in the ACCC. It'll be number 14, Shelly Littlefield, a sophomore right-handed pitcher from Dothan, Alabama, committed to the University of Mobile after the conclusion of her Coastal career. Will be making her 24th appearance on the circle this season and her 21st start of the year. 9 wins, 11 losses, and 1 save during the regular season. And had 12 complete games as well for the Yokes. First pitch will miss upstairs for ball 1. 120 innings of work for Shelly Littlefield. She allowed 49 earned runs on 133 hits. 77 strikeouts to 57 walks. As this will be a ground ball here to Fincher. Fires the first, long throw in time for out number 1. As they're able to retire Emma Harrison on the 5-3 putout. And brings up Heather Maxwell. And Littlefield comes in with the second best ERA on the team behind Madison Frugier with a 2.86 ERA. As we take a look at the Coyotes out on the field, they're in their dark black uniforms today. Black jerseys and black pants. Something you do not usually see them wear for home games throughout the entire season. This is a neutral site game here at Veterans Park, as it'll be in for strike number 1 here to Heather Maxwell. Coyotes out in the field. Kinsley Wesley behind the plate. Sydney Sherman at first. Taylor Hunt at second. Kaylin Parker will be at shortstop with Kaylin Fincher, who just made that play, at third. In the outfield for Coastal South, Jersey Carter in left. Grace Lanston in center. Ella Morgan Sears will be in right field. Besides the batting order, this is pretty much the same lineup head coach Mary Radwich has thrown out over the last couple of weeks. Grace Lanston, near the final 2 games of the season against Southern Union, was near the top of the batting order, batting second, but she'll be batting ninth today for Coastal South. We do not have their lineup from yesterday in the loss against Snead State. So we don't know if they made the change today or they are going into the postseason with it. Bunted down the left field line from Heather Maxwell, as it'll be a foul ball. It'll be a 2-2 count here to Maxwell. These two teams split their 4-game series during the regular season, and it's only fitting that this represents a tiebreaker between the Bucks and the Coyotes. Winner continues their postseason, as this is hit to left field, and this one will be caught from Jersey Carter in left. 2 up, 2 down to begin here in the bottom of the first. Carter was injured almost all of last year after injuring her wrist, which required surgery, sidelined her for the remainder of last season. She has come back for her sophomore year and has been a huge weapon for the Coyotes. Ground ball down the left field line, foul. Left side of the third base bag. Take a look at the batting order for Shelton State. They'll have Emma Harrison, Heather Maxwell, Trinity Wilkinson, Harley Johnson as designated player batting cleanup, followed by Aspen Gerard, Elena Spann, Lauren Coker, Natalie Liner, and finally Caroline Helinski. Star 9, pretty much the same lineup they threw out last game against Northwest Shoals, where they lost 11-9. Littlefield looking for a 1-2-3 inning. She's got a strike in the ball so far and delivers a pitch upstairs. Littlefield, for the second straight season, leads the team with the most innings pitched. Madison Frugier, however, leads the team with the most wins with 14. The Coyotes had a pitching staff that only had 4 arms throw last year. This year, they have a good committee of pitching staff with Littlefield, Frugier leading the way, Kaylee Johnson, Desiree Denmark coming out of the pen, and a couple other relievers as well, as this is sent to left field, and Jersey Carr runs over and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Shelly Littlefield and the Coyotes. They have a 3-0 lead as we head to the second here on JockJive. Top of the second, 3 runs off of 3 hits for Coastal South. Kaylin Fincher with her 8th home run of the season, a 3-run bomb to left center field. Shelton State went down in order in the bottom half of the first. It was a coin flip on who will be the home team, even though Coastal South is the higher seed going into this elimination game. A coin flip determined. Shelton State will be the home team. Coyotes will have hitters 7, 8, and 9 in their batting order due up. Olivia Tubbs, Ella Morgan Sears, and Grace Langston. Tubbs, batting as a designated player, has been used as the catcher in the second game of a doubleheader throughout this entire season, but she won't be catching in this one. Possibly see her later on if the Coyotes are able to survive elimination. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Tubbs. And now a miss upstairs from Lexi Darnell back in for her second inning of work. As Olivia Tubbs, second year, had limited plate appearances last year for Coach Sell. This year she has been a big force. Hits a ground ball to short to Liner. Long throw is in time to get Tubbs out at first base. 6-3 put out as it brings up Ella Morgan Sears playing in right field. And Sears in her first year with the Coyotes has been a huge offensive weapon for Coastal South. 6 home runs, 44 RBIs, a 41-hit season. As the first pitch will miss for ball number 1. 9 doubles, 4 triples, which leads the team in that department. Coyotes have only hit 5 triples as a team. Sears has 4 of them, the other one belonging to Taylor Hunt. Sears hits a chopper too short to Liner, and Liner 2 for 2 on 6-3 putouts to begin here in the top of the second. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Grace Langston. Langston also a freshman outfielder. No home runs on the year, but she is just like Jersey Carter with 41 base hits and 2 doubles. 10 RBIs this season. First pitch strike thrown here from Lexi Darnell as she starts to settle in. 373 batting average. A beautiful day here at Veterans Park in Alabaster, Alabama. Had a weather delay yesterday that pushed the first couple of games to a 2 o'clock start time as Langston signals the center field. Coyotes have their first hit of the second and their 4th hit in this game. 4 hits through the first time around the batting order for the Coyotes. Langston with a base hit. And Langston taking off her second, and she is safe. As the Shelton State infield was napping, and Langston takes off for second. Langston and Jersey Carter both known for doing that. If the defense is unaware of where they're at, they'll take off for second, or if second base is unoccupied, they'll steal a bag. Carter shows bunt, but the pitch is going to be upstairs. Jersey Carter with an infield single her first time up. But this is the tiebreaker between these two rivals. And now drop in for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Coyotes trying to extend their lead after scoring 3 runs in the top of the first inning. They're the road team in this one, while Shelton State the home team. Carter lines one right at the third baseman, Gerard, and she is prepared to make the catch, leaving Langston stranded at second. We head to the bottom of the second. 3-0 lead for the Coyotes. Welcome back here to the bottom of the second, as it will be hitters 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order for Shelton State. Harley Johnson, Aspen Gerald, and Elena Spann. Coyotes were able to get a hit in the top of the second, but a runner left stranded at second for the Coyotes. Shelton State looking for their first base runner. A ground out and 2 flyouts to the left in the bottom of the first for the Bucks. And the first pitch will miss upstairs for ball 1. The 2 games the Coyotes faced Shelton State at home, they won 6-1 and they had a 10-4 loss. So it was a split at home for Coastal South, as that is right down the middle for strike number 1. While Shelton State faced off against the Coyotes to open up the series on April 18th. They had a 5-4 loss, but were able to manage a 2-1 win in the second game. So that one will miss from Shelly Littlefield. So it's going to be a very tight game between these two teams. Only one game was lopsided, and that was the Shelton State 10-4 victory in Bay Minette. Now missed downstairs 3-1. Littlefield got in trouble throughout the season with the amount of walks she allowed to all the batters to her opposing teams. Trying to clean that up here in the postseason, where her team needs a win. As this one's going to be sent into left center field, and backing up to make the catch is Langston. 4 out, number 1. Some hard hit balls from Shelton State hitters, but none of them have been able to fall just yet, as it brings up Aspen Gerard, who homered yesterday in the loss against Northwest Shoals. So did Harley Johnson. That was Harley Johnson's first home run of the year. Gerard on the other side with 5 home runs this season. 5 home runs and 15 RBIs for Aspen Gerard. As this is game number 3 here on field number 2. We just finished our final or first and only Division II game here on field 2. It was a 2-1 victory for the Bevel State Bears over Bishop State, as Bishop State has now been eliminated. And Bevel State will keep their postseason journey alive. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Gerard playing at third base, made the line drive catch on Jersey Carr to end. Chopper down the left field line, foul. Elena Span is on deck. Shelton State's over in the first base dugout. Coyotes are over in the third base dugout, even though Shelton State's a home team in today's game. But it's 1-1 here. Coyotes looking for another 1-2-3 inning from their ace, Littlefield. This is a chopped foul once again. But hits are 4-0 in favor of the Coyotes. Jersey Carr with an infield single. Kinsley Wesley with a single to right. Fincher with a 3-run bomb to left center field. And Grace Lanston with a single with 2 outs in the top of the second. While Shelton State went down in order on their first 4 batters. Now line drive. What a catch from Taylor Hunt. Makes a diving catch. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Some nice defensive plays we've seen today on this beautiful Friday afternoon. We started at 9 o'clock on this same exact field number 2, for the conclusion of Wallace Hansville versus Northwest Shoals, which was an 11-2 victory. And then I just mentioned Bevel State with a 2-1 victory over Bishop State. That game started at 11. This one starting on time. As that is in for strike number 1 here to Elena Span. We had 53 hits during the regular season, 18 RBIs. A couple base hits yesterday in the loss against the Patriots. 1 triple and 6 doubles. Infield is in for Coastal South as that one misses upstairs. And it's 1-1. Lauren Coker, number 11, is on deck. But Shelton State pretty much going with the same batting order they had yesterday. Their offense was able to produce. Their pitching staff near the end of the game unable to hold a lead against the Patriots. If Northwest Shoals was unable to come away with a victory yesterday, they would have to face off against Coastal South. And the Coyotes won all 4 games against the Patriots. Chopper to first. Sydney Sherman strolls over. A 1-2-3 inning once again for Shelly Littlefield. We head to the third. 3-0 Coastal South. 2 innings in the books as we begin the third inning. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 for Coastal South. Kaylin Parker, Kinsley Wesley, and Kaylin Fincher. As Parker fouls off the first pitch. The freshman from Gulf Shores, Alabama. The former Gulf Shores Dolphin having a phenomenal first year. It's been phenomenal at shortstop with some excellent defensive plays. And then a very good batter as well for the Coyotes. Let's see Darnell batting in for her third inning award. That pitch will drop in for a strike. It's an 0-2 count here to Kaylin Parker, a 52-hit season. Kaylin Fincher will be the leading hitter for the Coyotes this season with 54 hits. As that swung on a miss and a strikeout for Darnell to start the third inning. As she starts to settle in here in the middle stages of this elimination game. Brings up Kinsley Wesley. Wesley in 118 at-bats, 2 home runs, and 28 RBIs. She had 2 home runs in the final couple series of the season for Kinsley Wesley after having a couple of home runs last year. Had a 60-hit season. This year just 30 hits, but it's been very reliable behind the plate for Coastal South. It's been their number 1 catcher, and she's behind the plate once again today and already providing offense. With a single to right field, came around the score off the 3-run bomb from Fincher. As that'll drop in for a strike, and like I said, Darnell starting to settle in to this game. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Kinsley Wesley. .254 batting average for Wesley in her sophomore season. So that one misses outside. A lot of veterans on this lineup coming back after finishing up as the runners-up in the ACCC last year to Hanceville. Wesley sends this one into deep right center field. Going back is the center fielder. Span makes the catch at the wall. We're out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. Well hit ball from Kinsley Wesley. The Coyotes with some hard hits in this game as the balls are starting to fly here at Veterans Park. And Kaylin Fincher will step in. 7 home runs, 38 RBIs during the regular season, 54 hits, 11 doubles. As this Coastal South offense near the top of Division I as one of the best offenses. Had a spectacular regular season last year. Runners-up, probably one of the best teams head coach Mallory Radwidge has had in a very long time as Fincher hits a ground ball to the shortstop. The throw is in time. What a throw there from Natalie Liner to Lauren Coker with a good pick at first base. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Letzi Darnell. Bucks down by 3, and in their offense start clicking as we enter the bottom of the third. Back here for the bottom of the third. Live on JockJive Sports, Dallas Renzi with you this afternoon for Coastal South and Shelton State. Winner moves on to the tournament. The loser will be sent packing. Hitters 7, 8, and 9 for Shelton State. Lauren Coker, Natalie Liner, and Caroline Hadlinski to lead things off here for Shelton State. We will have one more Division I game after the conclusion of this game. As that'll be in for a strike here from Shelly Littlefeld. She delivers a first pitch strike to Lauren Coker. Couple base hits yesterday in the loss against Northwest Shoals. Having a great Red River season. That one will miss outside. Some scores from earlier today from the first wave of games that we've had. As in Division II, we had South Marion Military Institute with a 12-2 victory. As this one's going to be sent over to the shortstop. Parker can't get a clean handle. And it'll be Shelton State's first base runner of the game. It's going to be a tough play either way there for Kaylin Parker as the ball just died down in front of Kaylin Parker before she was able to make the catch. And a base runner here for Shelton State. This brings up Natalie Liner, who just made that phenomenal play at short. Long throw to get Kaylin Fincher at first base. Littlefield deals with her first base runner. Bunt here, and that is actually going to hit Liner, but looks like it's going to be a foul ball. So count will be 0-1 here to Liner. Let's set some scores from earlier today. Division II, Marion Military Institute with a 12-2 victory in 6 innings. South Florida State with a 3-2 victory over Central Alabama in Division II. Wallace Dothan was eliminated in an elimination game against Lake Sumter State, 9-2. And then last night we had Snead State defeat Coastal South, so that's why they're in the elimination game bright and early this afternoon. 1:30 start time. Bunt again and going around. That'll be in for strike number 2. Here to Natalie Liner playing out short with Caroline Hedlinski on deck. After Lauren Coker's able to reach. Even Kaylin Parker had a clean handle. It was probably unlikely she didn't get Coker out at first base. This one's going to be blooped up in the air, and Taylor Hunt makes the catch. Coker back to first base. That brings up Hadlinski with 2 base hits in the loss against Northwest Shoals yesterday. Good bit of a break for Shelton State after their loss to Northwest Shoals. That game was at 2 o'clock, ended around 5 o'clock before we got into the second wave of games, which was Wallace State and Northwest Shoals. Well, for Coastal South, they finished up around 8:30 to 9 o'clock. So that one will miss outside for ball number 1. So as soon as the Coyotes lost, they had to turn their attention to Shelton State early today. Third game on this field for head coach Mallory Radwich, as this will be fouled off against the fence behind home plate. Good crowd for this one. There's a lot of Shelton State fans yesterday in their loss against Northwest Shoals, still today. And then first time seeing Coyotes here on field number 2. Jam-packed bleachers over to the left. Do apologize for the blue covers shielding off part of the pitcher on our camera. So we'll try to give you the best action left and right field line. This one is going to roll foul. Good smart play there from Kaylin Fincher. No way you're getting Helinski out at first if you continue to let it roll and it stays fair. It'll be a 1-2 count here to Helinski with Emma Harrison, the leadoff hitter, on deck. Runner on first here with 1 out. Shelton State trying to cut into the deficit. Hit to Fincher. Fires the first. What a good throw there from Kaylin Fincher on the money to Dia Helinski, as Coker will advance to second with 2 outs. No hesitation from Kaylin Fincher. Soon as it's in the glove, she fires to first in time. Good throw there to Sydney Sherman. And now we go back to the top of the batting order with Emma Harrison, who ground out to third her first time up. Coker on at second. Littlefield trying to keep it a 3-0 lead for her Coyotes. And the first pitch delivered in for a strike. Shelton State during the regular season, 45 games played, 201 runs scored, 17 home runs hit as a team, and a .292 batting average this year for Shelton State. hit to right field, and this one's going to be caught in right field by Ellen Morgan Sears. 3-0 Coyotes as we enter the 4th inning here on JockJive. We'll be right back from Veterans Park. Three innings are in the books as we enter the top of the 4th. All runs scored in this game came in the top of the 1st. A 3-run bomb from Kaylin Fincher. And the first pitch drops in for strike number 1. The winner of this game will remain on field number 2 to face off against the winner of Southern Union. And I believe the loser of Wallace State and Northwest Shoals. That one drops in for a strike as well. Or actually, the loser of Snead State versus Wallace State, I believe, is the next game possibly due up. But for now, it is going to be a 1-2 count here to Sydney Sherman. That one will sail upstairs. So it will be Southern Union versus Northwest Shoals at the moment. Grounded to third. And this one's going to be a long throw, but in time to get Sydney Sherman at first. Nice play there from Aston Gerald at third base. And it'll be Taylor Hunt up next to bat. So on field number 1 is Southern Union versus Northwest Shoals. And the winner of that game will face off against Coastal South in another elimination game. Northwest Shoals coming off their loss 11-2 to Wallace State, who's in the winner's bracket at the moment, as they will be facing off against Snead State later tonight at 4 o'clock p.m. That'll drop in for a strike. Letzi Darnell, after having a rough start to this game, settling in. She was retired the last 4 batters she's faced off against. Make that 5. She's retired the last 5. This one's hit down the right field line, but this is hooking foul over to the right side from Taylor Hunt. So Southern Union, Northwest Shoals on field 1 as we speak. Well, you got Shelton State and Coastal South facing off. Hunt with a 50-hit season. Hunt, Fincher, and Parker, the only hitters with 50 hits, with Jersey Carter with a blazing 64. Taylor Hunt, line drive right at Natalie Liner for out number 2. Couple of lineouts in this game, and a nice grab there from Natalie Liner, who's been very sharp so far. Brings up Olivia Tubbs with the bases empty with 2 outs. But Jersey Carter, the leading hitter, with 64 base hits. First pitch will go outside for Olivia Tubbs. Ellen Morgan Sears moves to the on-deck circle. 3-3 down has been the last couple innings for both of these teams. 1 base runner given up by Shelly Littlefield through 3 complete innings. Now she'll be back for the 4th inning. While the Coyotes offense doing all the damage in the first inning. Now miss upstairs. And it's a 3-0 count here to the designated player, Olivia Tubbs, who ground out the short her first time up. As Division I play continues here on this field. That's been 2 or 3 of the 4 games on this field so far throughout this tournament. You know, we've had weather delays. The only one that was in Division I was Bevel State versus Bishop State. Second time Shelton State's been on this field. So that one misses, and Olivia Tubbs works a 2-out walk. And that is the first walk issued by either pitcher so far. Now Morgan Sears steps in, and she flies one to left center field. This one's going to drop in for a base hit. Tubbs the second. Ellen Morgan Sears with a base hit to left center field. Yeah, she's got her first base hit, and the Coyotes threatening here with 2 outs. That'll be the Coyotes' 5th hit. And on the very first pitch, as Sears lets it fly and brings up Grace Langston, who singled to center field her first time up. As head coach Mallory Radwich looks like she is going to put in a pinch runner at second for Olivia Tubbs, possibly with Sears on at first. Put some speed on the base pads for Grace Langston. And that's exactly what she is going to do. That is number 7, Nicole Cooper. Coming in as the pinch runner at second. Cooper also in her second year with the Coyotes. A 6-hit season for Nicole Cooper. Played in left field to start the year, and then Jersey Carter replaced her. But Cooper still has been a very good pinch runner. 3 stolen bases on the year for Nicole Cooper. Speed on the base paths here, first and second. With Langston, number 9 hitter, due up next. As that'll be in for a strike. Langston was able to collect her 42nd hit of the season. Coyotes a tough second time around against Lexi Darnell, but they still have a 3-0 lead. Looking for more as that one sails upstairs as the wind continues to blow here into the press box. But you cannot complain about the weather here in Alabaster, Alabama. Day number 2 of the Division I tournament. Langston, line drive. This is going to go right to the shortstop liner as she flips over to Gerard for out number 3. 3-0 Coyotes as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Shelton State looking for their first run of the game. Still a 3-0 lead here for Coastal South. As the offense will go back to work here for Shelton State. Heather Maxwell, Trinity Wilkinson, and Harley Johnson, the designated player, to lead things off. Heather Maxwell with a fly out to left field, caught from Jersey Carter back in that first inning. As she'll lead things off here for Shelton State. Only 1 base runner so far, Lauren Coker with an infield single. As this will be a ground ball off the end of the bat. Fincher is unable to get a throw over to first. And it's going to be an infield single this time for Heather Maxwell. Here in the 4th inning, exactly what Shelton State was looking for, as they had their second straight inning with a leadoff hitter on. And now Wilkinson will step in. Had 2 doubles and a couple of walks in the loss against Northwest Shoals. Definitely the Bucks' best hitter pretty much all season long, leads the team in doubles. That first pitch will miss outside. 13 doubles on the year for Wilkinson. 3 home runs, 26 RBIs during the Red Wars season. Over 131 at bat. Shows bunt. Draws a bat. Throw to second. And it's in and out of the glove of Kaylin Parker. Hard collision at second, and Maxwell is slow to get up. But it will be a stolen base for the Bucks, as they have a runner in scoring position here with no outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Count's going to be 2-0 as well. Looks like Maxwell is going to be okay. Has a quick conversation with her head coach, Caitlin Griffin. As Wilkinson trying to drive in the first run of the game for Shelton State. And she will drive one to left field right in front of Jersey Carter. It will be a base hit. Runners on the corners as Maxwell advances to third. That's about base hits. And Shelton State is in business here in the bottom of the 4th. Big opportunity here for Harley Johnson to cut into the deficit. Johnson with a fly out to center field. Langston with a long run was able to make the catch. Johnson hoping for a very similar at bat here. Shows bunt, draws it back, but pitch is going to be upstairs for ball number 1. And we'll see how aggressive they will be with Wilkinson. Already with 4 base hits in this postseason. First and third with no outs. Downstairs, good block there from Kinsley Wesley. As Shelton State with their best opportunity of the game, got their first base runner in the last inning. Unable to drive in the first run of the game for the Bucks. Now, golden opportunity here, runners on the corners. And that one will miss outside. Bases have not been loaded for either team so far. Shelton State a ball away from loading them up with no outs. And Al Knatz for strike 1. As the Coyote faithful look on, hoping Littlefield can get some outs here. And hopefully they're able to come away with a lead going into the 5th inning. Crucial moment in the game here. Johnson flies one into left center field. Long run for Langston. It's out and out for glove. And a run will come in to score. First and second now with no outs. And Shelton State is on the board here after the drop from Langston in left center field. Just a tough play there for Langston. The wind was definitely pushing the ball away from her, but still was able to get a glove on it. And now head coach Mallory Radridge, for the first time in this game, is going to have a conversation with her infield, and also over which Shelly Littlefield, first and second game time run is on foot for Shelton State here in this crucial elimination game. As Harley Johnson cuts into the deficit with a single to left center field off the glove of Grace Langston, as it'll bring out the dangerous Aspen Gerard. Already one home run on this same exact ballpark yesterday. She'll step in. Wilkinson on at second. Harley Johnson at first. 3-1 lead here for Coastal South. Here in the 4th inning, desperate moment here. First pitch will sail upstairs. Aspen with a line out at second. The diving play by Taylor Hunt. No double play so far in this game. Coyotes need one here to try to limit the damage. Grounded foul down the left field line. Elena Spann is on deck. This is the heart of the Bangor for Shelton State. Trying to capitalize. We started off the inning with an infield single from header Maxwell. Trinity Wilkinson with a single to left field. Harley Johnson was able to reach after a drop from Grace Langston into left center field, driving in Maxwell. First and second here with no outs, 3-1 lead for Coastal South. Swung on and miss for strike 2. And a good block behind the plate from Kinsley Wesley. No strikeouts yet for Shelly Littlefield. But her defense has been able to get the outs when they need them. She needs one right here. 1-2 pitch. It's going to be a fly ball to left field. Roaming over and able to make the catch is Kaylin Parker. Runners will retreat back to first and second. And the first out's recorded here in the bottom of the fourth. Brings up Alana Span, who ground out to first on her first play appearance of the afternoon. Still first and second, still a golden opportunity here. One swing of the bat. Could be a tied game or Shelton State's first lead of the game. Span with a base hit to right field right in front of Ella Morgan Sears. That will load the bases up here for the Bucks. As Span on the very first pitch signals to right. Shelton State with their fifth hit, and now Lauren Coker, who signaled on her first plate appearance, with a chance to tie a game-time run at second, a go-ahead run at first. She'll show bunt, but she'll draw it back here on Littlefield. And the first pitch drops in for a strike for Littlefield. First time the bases have been loaded for either team today. And Shelton State already one run has come across the score. They have a huge opportunity here. All the Coyotes fans up on their feet, hoping their defense can make a stop. Ripped down the left field line, foul. And it's 0-2 quickly here to Coker with Natalie Liner on deck, who popped out the second her last time up. No mistakes need to happen here for Coastal Sal down the field. Coyotes team better at home than they are on the road. Can they fix it here in this tournament? That'll be outside. And actually, I take the bat. They struggled quite a bit at home this season, but were able to still come away with a winning record. Well, they were a better team on the road in limited action. Trying to come away with another victory on the road away from Coyote Stadium. Wind picking up, driven out to left field, and that one is going to be dropped from Jersey Carter. A run will come in to score. Throw to third is in and out of the glove of Fincher. Everyone is safe, and it's 3-2. As Lauren Coker cuts the deficit to 1. They could have had the force out at third, but Fincher was unable to control it, and now the entire infield is going to have a conversation with Shelly Littlefield on the circle. There is no visit coming out of the dugout from head coach Mallory Redwich. But desperate moments in the game right here. 3-2 lead for the Coyotes. Shelton State with an opportunity to possibly not only tie it, but take the lead with a base hit. As Natalie Liner. The wind was blowing. Crazy when that happened. And now it looks like a pinch hitter's coming in here for Shelton State. Wind was blowing, and then the ball was driven out to left field, number 21 for Shelton State. That'll be Maddie Wallace, who was a pinch hitter yesterday in the loss against Northwest Shoals. A home run and 10 RBIs, 14 base hits, 2 doubles for Maddie Wallace, a 197 batting average. She will pinch hit for Natalie Liner, who popped out to second her last time up. Base is still loaded here. 1-run lead for the Coyotes. And the pitch will be outside. The only out recorded was a fly out in left field from the shortstop, Kaylin Parker. As this is going to be hit, Littlefield to Wesley, and safe at home plate. Wesley could not control it. And we are knotted up at 3 apiece. And it looks like the umpires are going to meet near the circle to determine if the runner is safe at home. Wesley is contending that she had control in her hand. not in her glove hand, but in her bare hand while she had her foot on home plate. If this is an out, bases will still be loaded, but it will be with 2 outs and a 3-2 lead remains for Coastal South. Safe at home plate, and it's 3-3. Very hard to see from this angle if Wesley had firm control of the ball when she was on home plate, and now head coach Mallory Radwich wants a word with the home plate umpire. Because this is a huge call right there and not an out recorded. It's 3-3 with the bases still loaded with 1 out. In a crucial elimination game, they're going to stick with the original call. Wallace with driving in the game time run, and now Caroline Helinski, who ground out to third her first time up, with a chance to give Shelton State their first lead. And it's in out of the glove of Wesley. Throw home, no throw at all. Shelton State will take the lead, 4-3 off the wild pitch. Wesley kind of ran into the home plate umpire too, so she was unable to get there in time, and no throw was made at home plate. Third and second now with 1 out. First base is now open for the Bucks. As Helinski trying to drive in another run. And that will miss. 2 balls and no strikes here to Helinski with Emma Harrison on deck. A 4-run bottom of the 4th inning for Shelton State as the Bucks have taken the lead here against the Coyotes. Now one will miss outside, and it's 3-0 to the number 9 hitter. Coyotes desperate for an out. The 3-0 pitch. Will miss downstairs. Bases loaded here for Hedlinski. And it brings up Emma Harrison, the top of the batting order. Base loaded here with 1 out. And this might spell the end for Shelly Littlefield on the circle. As head coach Mallory Radwich and the infield will meet. And they are going to the bullpen. We'll take a quick break here on JockJive as Kaylee Johnson, number 15, will come onto the circle for the Coyotes. Bottom of the 4th inning, bases still loaded, 4-3 lead for Shelton State. Coyotes go to the bullpen. with number 15, Kaylee Johnson, a freshman right-hand pitcher, made her 20th appearance on the circle this season. She did start 9 games for head coach Mary Radwich and Coastal South. 5 wins, 2 losses, and 2 saves. 52 innings of work during the regular season, 71 hits allowed, 34 earned runs, 51 strikeouts to 23 watts. Steps in with the top of the batting order due up. And the first pitch delivered is inside for ball 1. A 4.52 ERA for Kaylee Johnson this year. She has allowed 6 home runs this year as well. Madison Fruge, I believe, got the start yesterday in the loss against Snead State. Littlefield unable to make it through 4 complete innings, and now they will turn to Kaylee Johnson to try to save the day. It is a 2-0 count for Emma Harrison. And she drives one to left field, and it's out of the reach of Carter and left. 1 run comes in to score. Here comes the second, and it is going to be a bases clearing double. And Shelton State has scored all of their runs here in the bottom of the 4th. And it is a 7-3 game. All 7 runs coming in here for Shelton State. Emma Harrison with a bases clearing double. Second bases clearing double we've had here on field number 2. The other one belonging to Wheeler, who had herself an 8 RBI game in the win against Northwest Shoals. That is going to be a first pitch strike to number 14, Heather Maxwell. And the Bucks have batted through their entire batting order here in the 4th inning. Shelly Littlefield closed the door in the first 3 innings. The 4th belongs to the Bucks offense. As that is up and tight here on Maxwell, an infield single and a fly out to left field. It's Emma Harrison with a bases clearing double to left field to bust a wide open, largest lead of the game for Shelton State, 7-3. Coyotes will have their work cut out as this one's popped up, and this will go out of play. On deck is Trinity Wilkinson. 5th and final meeting between these 2 teams this season. Split during the regular season. As this one's sent into shallow center field, and running to make the catch is Langston. Throw to second, not in time, but it will be out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. As Wilkinson will step in, a single to left field on her last at bat in the same inning. And a fly out to left field. Runner on at second, that's Emma Harrison. Kaylee Johnson finally records her first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning since replacing Shelly Littlefield. That pitch is going to be in for a strike. But the Coyotes, with their work cut out for them, they have Jersey Carter, Kaylin Parker, and Kinsley Wesley. Still a long way to go in this game, but their offense has got to start clicking soon. But like I said, top of the batting order, Carter with 1 hit so far, Kaylin Parker with a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt, and Kinsley Wesley with a single and a fly out to center. Coyotes down by 4, season on the line, but they need Johnson to get 1 more out. And this might do it, as this is a fly ball to right field. Sears comes in, makes the catch. We're finally out number 3. A 7-run bottom of the 4th for Shelton State. They have a 7-3 lead as we head to the 5th here in this elimination game in Division I. 3 runs off of 5 hits, no errors for Coastal South. Shelton State 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Shelton State with the big bottom of the 4th to jump ahead 7-3. Coyotes offense trying to respond. Jersey Carter, Kaylin Parker, Kinsley Wesley to lead things off. Letzi Darnell, after giving up that 3-run homer from Kaylin Fincher in the first inning, has settled in quite nicely. Carter with an infield single and a line out at third base on her first 2 plate appearances. Trying to get on base here. That one will miss upstairs, and it's 2-0 here to the leadoff hitter, Jersey Carter, who had a 64-hit season. Only 1 extra base hit this season, which was a double. And Al Connect here for strike number 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kaylin Parker on deck. And it looks like Shelton State has one arm warming up in the bullpen. Ground ball to third, and it's in time to get Carter. 5-3 put out for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning, as it brings up Kaylin Parker with a strikeout her last at bat in the 3rd, laid down a sacrifice bunt that moved Jersey Carter into scoring position. She'll try to bat to get on base here. Any runs are crucial here for the Coyotes. That one drops in for a strike for Letzi Darnell. Shelton State will have number 22, Elizabeth Brooks, warming up in the bullpen, which is over to the right of the ballpark. And that is a quick 0-2 count here to Kaylin Parker with Wesley on deck. Shelton State and Coastal South were not in the same division before the season. Shelton State was in the North, Coastal South in the South Division. That one sails outside. But the bullpen is over to the right side, and the grass, turf grass, where you see multiple teams warm up right next to each other. 1-2 pitch. Parker flies one to left field, but it hooks foul. Parker usually near the middle of the batting order for Coastal South, but since she has been able to get on base quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, head coach Mary Radwich puts her at the number 2 spot behind Jersey Carter, and Kinsley Wesley to hit right behind her. As Parker flies one to right field, drifting away from the right fielder, and she's able to make the catch. Emma Harrison with a long run had a bases clearing double in the last half inning. She gets a nice flyout catch into right field, 2 up, 2 down. A 5-3 ground out to Jersey Carter. Kaylin Parker with a fly out to right. And now Kinsley Wesley will bat here with the base empty with 2 outs. Coyotes down to their final 7 outs, possibly for the season. And that one's dropping in. The changeup is working here for Letzi Darnell. She has only allowed 1 base hit in the last 3 innings. The last one was to Ella Morgan Sears with a base hit to left field. And she's up once again 0-2, not hesitating on the hill. But if Shelton State's able to hang on, they'll play the winner of Southern Union and Northwest Shoals. Could be a rematch as Wesley pops this one up to the left side of the infield. That's going to be caught from Aspen Gerard. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, Shelton State with a 7-3 lead here on field number 2 at Veterans Park. Bottom of the fifth, Shelton State with a 7-3 lead. All 7 of their runs have come in the bottom of the fourth. As you can continue to hear the wind coming through the press box. So we have the wind coming straight in. First pitch outside from Kaylee Johnson, back in for her second inning of work after relieving Shelly Littlefield in the fourth inning. Gave up that bases clearing double, and then was able to retire the next 2 batters she faced. As this one swung on and missed. As it'll be Harley Johnson, Aspen Gerard, and Elena Spann to lead things off for Shelton State. It's Kaylee Johnson trying to put up a 0 and give her offense a chance to twine their way back, as this one's fouled out of play. And the storms that we had last night, especially at this press box where the wind and the rain was coming in, they had to cover it up, put back the original glass panel on the window. Bad weather last night, but clear skies today, as this one skipped in the dirt. Harley Johnson with a fly out to center field and an RBI single. Shelton State, Harley could not get any offense going in the first 3 innings, just 1 base runner. Swung around for strike number 3 as we go to our next batter with Aspen Gerard with the base empty with 1 out. A line out at second and a fly out down the left field line caught from Kaylin Parker. First pitch will miss downstairs for ball number 1. Johnson has pitched the 3rd most innings this season for Coastal South. Littlefield with over 120. Mass and Frugier just outside 100 total innings of work. Those are 2 sophomores with Littlefield and Frugier. This one will miss downstairs. Kaylee Johnson, a freshman. Desiree Denmark is a sophomore. Has pitched the 4th most. And then you got Jane Merritt, Robbie Van, and Julie Allmacher. The other couple pitchers are freshmen returning. So, next season it will be a brand new pitching staff for the Coastal Alabama South Coyotes. And it's a 3-0 count here to Aspen with Elena Spann on deck. I'm just hearing over the left side of the press box that we have a final in one of the other fields, as that will be a 4-pitch walk here to Gerald. Shelton State battered their entire lineup the last one. And now Elena Spann, who had a single to right field her previous at-bats, as head coach Mallory Radwich is going to have a conversation with Kaylee Johnson in the infield on the circle. And they're going to make another change on the circle. It looks like it's going to be Madison Frugier, who started yesterday against Snead State. So that'll do it for Kaylee Johnson on the circle. Madison Frugier comes on. And it's a 7-3 lead here for Shelton State here in the bottom of the 5th. We'll step aside here on JockJive. Madison Frugier takes up responsibilities on the circle, trying to save the season for Coastal South. Delivers a first pitch strike. It'll be Elena Spann with Aspen Gerard on first. With one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Madison Frugier pitching the second most innings pitched this season for Coastal South. As this one will be a chopper. Taylor Hunt to first in time for out number 2. Aspen will advance to second on the 4-3 putout. As it brings up Lauren Coker, 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And has driven in 1 run so far. She would love to drive in an insurance run here for the Shelton State Bucks. And the first pitch, as she went around for strike number 1. Frugier with 91 innings of work. She had 14 wins during the Redwood season, 4 losses, 1 save, and 4 complete games this season. Started 14 games this season for the Coyotes. 110 hits, 35 earned runs allowed. Strikeouts to walk ratio 30-23, so not big numbers in the strikeout department, but she's been able to get the outs when she needed them. And she has a 2.67 ERA, which is best on the team during the Redwood season. So Mary Radwich is going to probably her best pitcher this season to try to save the day and make this game still a 4-run advantage with 6 outs to work with for her offense. This will be a chopper underneath Frugier, and that will result in runners both being safe on the corners. Another hit given up. And a 3-hit performance from Lauren Coker with Natalie Liner due up. She was pinch hit her last time up. A soft ground ball hit to Littlefield, flipped over to her catcher, Kinsley Wesley, but Wesley could not control it before the runner came in to score. That was a big turning point in the game. Started to see the frustration for Coastal South as that one will miss outside. But it'll be runners on the corners here with 2 outs. Caroline Hedlinski is on deck. Sally Liner, a 1-for-2 game with a single and a pop out at second. Pitch is going to be downstairs, good block there from Wesley. It's going to be a 2-0 count here to Liner. Like I said, we do have a final. St. John's River eliminates Bevel State by a final score 11-1 in 5 innings. Swung on a miss here by Liner. Bevel State kept their season alive with a 2-1 victory against Bishop State on this field before we had this elimination game, but their season comes to an end. St. John River avoids elimination. They will keep their postseason hopes alive. Swung on a miss once again. And it's going to be 1-2 here to Liner with runners on the corners. Northwest Shoals and Southern Union currently underway. A swung on and miss. Madison Frugier with a big strikeout, keeping runners stranded on the corners. As we head to the 6th, 7-3 lead for Shelton State in a do-or-die game for either side. It will be Kaylin Fincher, Sydney Sherman, and Taylor Hunt to lead off here against Lexi Darnell, back in for her 6th inning of work. She's pitched 4 shutout innings, just allowing that 3-run homer to Kaylin Fincher. Fincher with that home run and a 6-3 putout. Coyotes scored the first 3 runs. Shelton State responds with 7 unanswered runs in the bottom of the 4th. And that one's going to drop in. The Coyotes still have not figured out how to hit the changeup from Lexi Darnell. Sydney Sherman waits on deck as Fincher deals with 2 strikes, 0-2. And it misses outside, 1-2. Coyotes went down in order. Jersey Carr, Kaylin Parker, and Kinsley Wesley. 2 flyouts and a groundout. Fincher needs to find a way to get on base here if Coyotes want any chance. Sits out to work with. Fincher with a ground ball down the left field line. This is going to be a fair ball for Kaylin Fincher. A leadoff single for the third baseman who leads the team in hits during the regular season, and she converts here with a single. Coyotes' 6th hit of this game against Lexi Darnell. And head coach Matt Radowich is going to use a pinch runner for Kaylin Fincher at first base. We already saw Nicole Cooper come in for Olivia Tubbs. So we'll see who Matt Radowich points to in the dugout to come in to relieve Kaylin Fincher at first base. And it looks like that is going to be number 44, Julie Almacher, who has no stolen bases this season and has been a relief pitcher for Coastal South all season long. She will come in as a pinch runner on first. Here in the top of the 6th, Sydney Sherman. Hitless so far with a fly out to right and a ground out at third. And the first pitch will miss downstairs for ball number 1. All about getting base runners on base if you're Coastal South. Or at least trying to cut into the deficit. Down by 4 runs. This offense has been doing it all season long. Coming back in these combats. That'll be in for a strike. Taylor Hunt moves to the on-deck circle. Sherman with 15 home runs in her career with Coastal South. And now head coach Matt Radowich having a conversation with the home plate umpire. As they clean up the left side batter box. For Sydney Sherman. As she's searching for her first base hit, playing at first base today for Coastal South. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike here. With Julia Almacher on at first for Kaylin Fincher, who's able to convert her 2nd base hit of this game, a 3-run homer and a single for Fincher. That one's going to drop in for a strike. And it's 1-2 here to Sherman as they continue to struggle to try to hit the changeup from Lexi Darnell. That's what Lexi Darnell has been throwing the majority of her time on the circle. It's outside. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. There has only been 1 walk issued in this game for the Coastal South hitters, and that was Olivia Tubbs. Besides that, Darnell with just 1 strikeout. Sherman did not go around. It'll be a full count here as she bows back in the count. Carter, Wesley, Fincher, and Ellen Morgan Sears and Langston all with base hits against Lexi Darnell. Only 1 extra base hit. That's the only 3 runs of the game. Sherman fouls it off to stay alive at this at-bat. Sherman trying to set up Taylor Hunt here. Every out is so precious here for Coastal South. Need to have some of their best at-bats of the season. They want any chance to come back. And Sherman flies 1 to left field, right at the left fielder, Heather Maxwell, for out number 1. A long at-bat for Sherman, but she will head back to the dugout. As it brings up Taylor Hunt. An 0-for-2 game with a fly out to second and a line out at short. Made good contact her last at bat, but needs to come through here. First pitch connects for strike number 1 here to Taylor Hunt. A 50-hit season. She's one of 2 batters that has hit a triple this season. And she hit that triple at home, I believe, against Northwest Shoals. And she's down the count once again. Let's see Darnell not hesitating and throwing strikes. Elizabeth Brooks was warming up in the bullpen about 2 innings ago. No one's warming up now as Hunt stays alive, fouls it out of play. Over to the right in field number 1, we got an 8-7 game going on. Can't remember who was playing on field 1 at the moment. That game's been going on for a while, and it's on field number 1 in the 4th inning. Already one game in our second wave of games here on JockJive has finally concluded, with St. John's River with a big victory to stay alive and the tournament. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hunt pops this one up, and it'll sail out of play. And the count will remain 1-2 here to Taylor Hunt with Olivia Tubbs on deck, who walked her last at bat. Shelton State had 2 opportunities yesterday with a 4-run lead. Were unable to close it. Hunt flies one to right field, going over to make the catch is Harrison. And Almacher will retreat back to first for out number 2. And Tubbs will step in here with Almacher on at first. Starting off with a leadoff single from Kaylin Fincher, Sydney Sherman, and Taylor Hunt fly out to left and right field. And now it looks like the catcher, Wilkinson, is pointing to something in the dugout. Looks like she's getting a new softball. A Coastal South team that made it far in the postseason last year, one of the best teams head coach Mary Radwich has had over the last couple of seasons. Coyotes have been very good during the regular season over the last 4 years. A couple of first-round exits, a couple of long postseason runs, including last year. This year, they're trying to avoid being swept in the postseason and try and make it back to the championship to have a rematch with Wallace-Hansville. As Hansville's in the winner's bracket game against Snead State, which will happen later on today on field number 1. Drops in for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike here to Olivia Tubbs with a ground out to short in the second and a walk in the 4th inning. Ellen Morgan Sears is on deck. This Coyotes trying to cut into the deficit as that one's down. Sears 2-1. A 5-home-run season, 24 RBIs for Olivia Tubbs. 31 hits, 11 doubles. Misses down. Sears is 3-1 here in the top of the 6th. Coyotes used a pinch runner last time for Olivia Tubbs, as Tubbs was walked on her last plate appearance. That's the only walk issue from Lexi Darnell. Upstairs, and it's a 2-out walk. Moves Almacher to second. First and second here with 2 outs for the Coyotes. And Ellen Morgan Sears will step in. Saw 1 pitch her last at bat, singled to left field. We'll need to do the same here once again here for Coastal South. Grace Langston is on deck. And Sears pops up the first pitch over to the left side. That's going to be caught from Natalie Liner to end the threat. We head to the bottom 6. Last chance for Shelton State to tag on some insurance runs as we head to the bottom 6 here on JockJive. Bottom of the 6A, Shelton State with a 7-3 advantage. Looking for some insurance runs here against Madison Fruge. One here from Hedlinski. It'll be hitters 9, 1, and 2 in the batting order. Hedlinski, Harrison, and Maxwell against Madison Fruge. Her second appearance on the circle this postseason after losing last night to Snead State in a 7-inning contest. As Albie swung on by Hedlinski. An 0-2 count here with Harrison on deck, who had that bases clearing double to left field. And swung on a miss from Hedlinski. Two questionable swings there from their number 9 hitter, but it'll be a strikeout here for Madison Fruge, who only had 30-plus strikeouts on the year, but she gets a big one here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Coyotes' last hope will be Grace Lansing, Jersey Carter, and Kaylin Parker, unless we have pinch hitters coming in. But it'll be the last chance for the Coyotes to try to save their season after losing last night to Snead State. Grounded foul by Emma Harrison. A 5-3 put out in the first, a line out in right in the 3rd inning. A bases clearing double in the 4th. Now here in the bottom of the 6th, just trying to get on base here with 1 out. Header Maxwell on deck. We will have one more game here on field number 2. The 2 conclude day number 2. And then I believe there's just one game on field 2 tomorrow. And then we'll start going down to 2 fields. We've had 4 fields active all series long, besides this morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Ground ball here to Fincher. Bobbles it. Throw to first. Not in time. Harrison beats the throw. In and out glove of Kaylin Fincher, and a base runner here for Shelton State. Header Maxwell will step in. A 1-for-3 game with an infield single, a line out in center, and a fly out in left field back in the 1st inning. Zalby in for a strike here. Started off to Maxwell with Trinity Wilkinson moving to the on-dead circle. This will be chopped foul here from Maxwell. Looking for her second base hit after Emma Harrison able to reach off an E5 from Kaylin Fincher. Hits are 8-6 in favor of Shelton State. Just 6 hits for Coastal South after jumping ahead with the first 4 hits of the game. That will miss downstairs for Maxwell. But Shelton State, if they're able to hang on, will stay here on field number 2 to face off against the winner of Northwest Shoals. Ground ball, Hunt to first, not in time. The flip, unable to beat Maxwell. And it's 1st and 2nd here with 1 out. Trinity Wilkinson steps in, a 1-for-3 game for her after having 2 doubles yesterday against Northwest Shoals. So there is a possibility that the only game that we've had here on field number 2 is a rematch of that extra innings game as Wilkinson grounds it. Fruge to third to Fincher in time. They'll get the force out at third for a big out number 2 here. It was an 11-9 victory for Northwest Shoals over Shelton State, where the Bucks twice in the game had a 4-run advantage, 4-0 and 9-5. Ground ball on the first pitch. Parker to second. And now in the threat for Shelton State to tag on to the lead. They're up by 4. They are 3 outs away from staying alive in the tournament. Coastal South season coming down to the wire. We'll be right back here on JockJive. Coastal South down to their final 3 outs. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Coyotes. While for the Butts, 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. As the Coyotes will have hitters 9, 1, and 2 trying to save their season. Lexi Darnell is back in for the 7th inning as she looks for a complete game win, which he had multiple of those during the regular season, trying to do it once again. And the first pitch delivered in for a strike to Grace Langston, who was 1 for 2 with a single to center field, ground out into a fielder's choice her last time up. Jersey Carter and Kaylin Parker will follow. Coyotes looking for some base runners. Langston with a base up the middle. That'll definitely help their cause. As the Coyotes with bats-to-bat innings with a leadoff single from their leadoff hitter. And Coyotes able to get their 7th hit of the game off of Lexi Darnell. And Langston with a 2-hit performance after having 2 hits in the previous one. And it looks like we are going to have a change on the circle. Lexi Darnell's day is officially done for this game. I see her for the game against the winner Northwest Shoals versus Southern Union, depending on how the rest of this game will go. Well, we will have a change on the circle. We'll be right back here on JockJive. 7-3 Shelton State lead. It'll be number 9, Mallory Sluter, coming in to replace Lexi Darnell on the circle, as the freshman right-handed pitcher making her 9th appearance on the circle this season. Started 1 game this year for Shelton State. No wins, 2 losses, and 1 complete game this year with 23 innings of work. Trying to record the final 3 outs and keep the season alive for the Bucks, as they are hoping to play in another elimination game later this afternoon. 27 hits allowed, 20 earned runs, 42 strikeouts, 21 walks. Comes in with a solid 6.0 ERA. And the first pitch, it's going to be upstairs here to Jersey Carter. Grace Langston with a single off Lexi Darnell to start this inning. Jersey Carter, a 1 for 3 game and infield single, a line out at third, and then a 5-3 ground out in the 5th inning. Coyotes looking for base runners, down by 4. This is the 2nd time in this tournament in 2 games where Shelton State goes into the top of the 7th with a 4-run advantage. Northwest Shoals was down 9-5. They completed the comeback, made it 9-9, 4 extra innings, and eventually came away with an 11-9 victory in 8. And that one's going to miss upstairs as well, and it's a 3-0 count here to Jersey Carter, as Sluter has missed on the first 3 pitches since coming in on the circle. Kaylin Parker on deck. And that one misses upstairs, and it's a 4-pitch walk. And now 2 speedsters on the base paths for Coastal South. Here in the top of the 7th, trying to keep their season alive. A single and a walk, and now the dangerous Kaylin Parker will step in. It was 0 for 3 or 0 for 2 in the game with a strikeout and a flyout to right. She did lay down a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. And the first one's going to miss upstairs for ball 1. Kinsley Wesley moves to the on-deck circle. Last chance for the Coyotes. Down by 4 runs. Shelton State trying to not allow another meltdown on the circle in the 7th. and it's downstairs. And it's been 6 pitches for Mallory Sluter and 6 balls. And she has walked Jersey Carter, and now she's behind 2-0 here to Kaylin Parker. Two-0 pitch. And that's for her first strike since coming in to relieve. And it's 2-1 here to Kaylin Parker. A fly out in the 5th inning. Trying to get on base here. As she will fly one to deep left field, and this one is caught in left field, and both runners will tag up. A productive at bat, but they were hoping it would drive in 3 runs, but it'll be a fly out to left. Both Langston and Carter will tag up. It'll be runners at 3rd and 2nd with 1 out. And it brings up the catcher Kinsley Wesley, a 1-for-3 game, a single, and 2 flyouts. So that'll be in for a strike here to Wesley. With Fincher on deck, who has 2 hits in this game. Wesley, a 30-hit season after having 60 hits in her first year, so 90 combined hits in her 2 years with Coastal South. Wesley popped this one up, and this will go out of play. It'll be a quick 0-2 count here to Wesley with Fincher on deck. Coyotes have not scored since the 1st inning off the 3-run bomb from Kaylin Fincher. Wesley drives one to left center field. This one will be caught. Tagging up is Langston. She'll score, and the lead has been cut to 7-4, but the Coyotes are down to their final out. So sacrifice fly for Kinsley Wesley, drives in a run. But Coyotes' final hope relies upon Kaylin Fincher. A single in the 6th inning, a 6-3 put out in the 3rd, 3-run homer. They need to get her on base here to set up Sydney Sherman with a chance to tie the game up. Promising start to the inning for the Coyotes. So that one's in now, the glove, and Carter will advance to 3rd. Throw not in time. It'll be a 2-0 count here for Fincher. Looking for her 3rd hit and trying to keep the game alive. And that almost hit Fincher, in and out of the glove of the catcher Wilkinson. And it's a 3-0 count here. How aggressive will Kaylin Fincher be here on the next pitch? Most likely she'll have the red light here with a runner on 3rd just trying to get on base. That one sails upstairs, and Fincher will take first with 2 outs. And the Coyotes will have a chance to tie the game up with 1 swing of the bat. With runners on the corners here with 2 outs. Sherman with 15 home runs in her career with Coastal South. 5 this season. First pitch is in for a strike. Taylor Hunt moves to the on-deck circle just in case. Sherman has her biggest at-bat of her career here in her sophomore season with Coastal South. And she fouls it out of play, and this goes over into the other ballpark. And the Coyotes are down to their final strike of the season. 0-2 to Sydney Sherman. As Shelton stayed a strike away from moving on the tournament and eliminating the number 2 seed Coastal South. 0-2 pitch. Sherman fouls it up against the fence, and count remain 0-2. But the final game will start at 4 o'clock here on field number 2, and now we'll wrap up day number 2 of the tournament. Carter on at 3rd, Fincher is on at first. Upstairs for ball one to Sydney Sherman. Only 2 pitchers have been used in this game for Shelton State. Letzi Darnell going 6 strong innings, allowing 4 earned runs. And Mallory Sluter trying to get the final strike. As Sherman stays alive with another foul ball, and this will drift over to the right side into the crowd. Two flyouts and a ground out for Sydney Sherman. One to right, one to left. And then a 5-3 putout from Sydney Sherman. She has fouled off the last couple pitches she has seen. Still battles with 2 strikes. And then hits Sydney Sherman to load the bases up for the Coyotes. So they'll stay alive here in the top of the 7th, and now Taylor Hunt will step in. Hunt has 2 home runs this season and 25 runs driven in. Both of her home runs this year have been grand slams. And I believe they are going to issue a pinch runner at first for Sydney Sherman, possibly. The game time run is on foot for the Coyotes. The go-ahead run at the plate with Taylor Hunt. Jersey Carr remains at third. Fincher is on at second. Sydney Sherman, who was just hit by the pitch, is on at first. And the first pitch to Taylor Hunt is in for strike number 1. If Hunt is able to reach, Olivia Tubbs is on deck. Down by 3 runs. If this is hitting the gap, it could be a chance where they will send all 3 runners home. Hunt fouls it off, and again, the Coyotes down to their final strike. Hunt playing at second like she's been all season long. Or actually started the season at shortstop, moved over to second. But a 50-hit season for the freshman infielder. Also plays in the outfield as well for Coastal South. As Sluter gets a softball examined from the infield umpire. And it looks like they're going to exchange it. As it will be 0-2 here for Mallory Sluter, who has faced off against every single batter besides Grace Langston. Kramer around the score. 0-2 pitch is downstairs, and it's 1-2. As Shelton State fans were hoping that will be a called third strike, and they will start preparing for their next game. But Taylor Hunt will see another pitch at this at-bat, trying to keep the Coyotes season alive here in Alabaster. Hunt with a ground ball, nicely played there, and they'll throw over to third, and Shelton State will advance in the tournament with a 7-4 win in 7 innings, ending the Coyotes season. And Shelton State will survive and face off against the winner of Northwest Shoals versus Southern Union here on field number 2 to conclude the final game that we'll have here on day number 2. But Shelton State with a 7-4 victory. As we'll take a look at the final numbers in this one as the 2 teams meet at the circle. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Coastal South. Shelton State 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Shelton State with that big bottom of the 4th inning, scoring all 7 of their runs, keeps their season alive. While Coastal South, another first-round exit. After losing 4-1 last night to Snead State, they lose 7-4 to Shelton State to end their incredible season. Well, that'll do it for this third game here on field number 2 on Dallas Rinsey. Shelton State with a 7-4 victory to keep their season alive. We'll be back around 4 o'clock p.m. to conclude day 2.